Pontius Pilate is one of the most controversial figures in Christian history, known for having been the Roman governor of Judea and for playing a central role in the trial and condemnation of Jesus Christ. His name echoes through the Gospels and is still repeated today in the Creed prayer. But what happened to Pilate after the crucifixion of Jesus? The story of his fate is shrouded in mystery, controversy, and multiple versions. Did he fall into disgrace before Rome? Did he regret his decision? Or did he perhaps meet a tragic end? Different historical accounts and Christian traditions present distinct scenarios regarding his final fate. In this video, we will dive into ancient accounts, both historical and apocryphal, to discover what happened to the man who washed his hands before Christ's fate. If you want to know how Pontius Pilate's life ended and what legends surround his death, watch until the end. You might be surprised by some of these stories. After the crucifixion of Jesus, Pontius Pilate remained for a few more years as governor of Judea, a province marked by tensions between the Romans and the Jewish population. Rome was under the rule of Emperor Tiberius, who demanded stability in the occupied regions. But Pilate was known for his heavy hand and decisions that sparked revolts among the Jews. According to historical accounts, especially from the historian Flavius Josephus, Pilate ordered the violent suppression of some religious demonstrations, which increased local dissatisfaction. The breaking point for his downfall would have been a conflict with the Samaritans, who protested against his administration and sent complaints to Vitellius, governor of Syria. In response, Pilate was summoned back to Rome to account for his actions. However, Tiberius died before Pilate reached Rome, and his fate after that episode became uncertain. The new emperor Caligula showed no interest in protecting him, and Pilate disappears from official historical records. Nevertheless, various traditions and apocryphal accounts attempt to reconstruct his final years. One of the most widely accepted versions among historians is that Pilate was exiled to the region of Gaul, where he supposedly lived in disgrace until his death. This version is based on accounts from writers such as Eusebius of Caesarea, who mention that Pilate, having lost imperial protection, was forced to take his own life. This tradition is reinforced by the idea that such a death was common among Roman authorities who fell into disgrace. Other accounts claim that Pilate was imprisoned and executed by order of Caligula himself. According to these versions, the new emperor wanted to erase any trace of previous administrations, especially those that had caused political problems and uprisings, like Pilate's in Judea. There is also an Eastern Christian tradition that presents a surprising version, in which Pilate deeply regretted his role in the condemnation of Jesus and converted to Christianity. In some variants of this legend, he and his wife, Claudia Procula, who according to some traditions is a saint in the Orthodox Church, lived as Christians until their deaths. This version, though lacking historical evidence, reflects the influence of Christian narratives in the construction of the myth surrounding Pilate. Other medieval legends claim that Pilate's spirit found no rest and was condemned to wander the earth as a tormented soul. These stories are found in apocryphal texts and European folklore, mainly in the Swiss Alps, where some legends say his ghost haunts the mountains of the region. Some traditions claim that after his death, his remains were taken to Rome and later thrown into the Tiber River, due to the supernatural disturbances caused by his tomb. There is also a story that his remains were taken to the region of Gaul and buried in Lake Lausanne in present-day Switzerland. According to legend, the place became cursed, with storms and natural disasters attributed to Pilate's restless spirit. Some popular versions say that at certain times of the year, his figure can be seen emerging from the waters, eternally washing his hands in a gesture of remorse. Other Christian accounts seek to offer a more redemptive perspective. Writings such as the Acts of Pilate, an apocryphal text, suggest that he recognized Jesus' innocence and converted to Christianity, even being considered a saint by some branches of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This version stands in stark contrast to the idea that he ended his life in exile and disgrace. The story of Pontius Pilate after the crucifixion of Jesus remains a mystery wrapped in different narratives. Whether through historical accounts or Christian legends, Pilate became a figure who transcended his political role and entered the religious imagination. His mention in the Creed demonstrates the importance of his name in the Passion of Christ, reinforcing his position as a central figure in the gospel narrative. Whether he truly ended his life in exile by suicide or converted to Christianity, we will never know for certain. But one thing is undeniable. His decision to wash his hands and give in to public pressure marked history forever. This gesture became a universal symbol of omission and cowardice, perpetuating Pilate's memory through generations. For the Christian faith, his figure also raises reflections on justice, responsibility, and redemption. How far was he to blame for the condemnation of Jesus? And how far does the weight of our own decisions go? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other historical figures of the Church, leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing more content about the history of Christianity. See you in the next video.